Colorado High School Activities Association softball is on 1010 KSLR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. It's the opening round of the 3A state tournament with the Brush Bee Diggers taking on the Limon Badgers just underway. The Bee Diggers are the 8th seed, and Limon is the 9th seed. We just had a 1-0 pitch hit by Brillin Owens. A little bunt attempt, and thrown out by the catcher, Amaya Bruno, the pitch. And that's upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. We'll set the lineups here for you. The opening pitch brought to you by Buildings by Design. The Bee Diggers are the 8th seed. And the 1-0 from Rule. And that is taken for a strike at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. This is Trista Marks. Boy, she was an outstanding basketball player, leading her team to the state title. Swung on and fisted in the air first base side and dropped by Braylon Rule right in her glove, and the ball's in foul territory, still rolling over there. Marks is going to reach via the error. Oh, man, that thing was hit when a few feet in the air, but Braylon Rule was over there and simply dropped the ball. So 2 batters into the game, the Bee Diggers have a miscue. And here we go with hitter number 3. This will be Ryan Urich. And we'll set the positions here coming up momentarily as well. Scoring to bunt is Urich. And the offering. And that is taken upstairs. Runner to second. Marks to throws up the second base side. And it'll be an easy stolen base. 1 ball and no strikes. So Limon already threatening here at the top of the first inning. The Bee Diggers and Limon Badgers here from Aurora Sports Park. And the pitch is a strike on the inner half. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here to Ryan Urich, hitting from the right side. And the offering. Swing and a miss on the ball in the dirt. Runner stuck between second and third, but back to second. And the count is at 1-2. Oh, did he strike her out? I guess the other pitch was a strike. Check that. All right, it was a strikeout. I didn't see that. The first pitch must have been a strike. So Urich strikes out. There's 2 down. And scoring to bunt, and the pitch is taken off the glove, no throw to third. And this hitter is Paige Hutzel. So that should be a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. We'll keep it right here in between innings, so we set you up with what we have with the Bee Diggers as well. Pretty much everybody at normal positions. The pitch swung on and driven deep to left field. That one's way back, and it's off the bottom of the fence. That'll score Marks. Around first is Hutzel into second with a 2-out RBI double, and the Badgers are on the board here in the top of the first inning, 1-0. And that thing was tagged the other way. These are some tall hitters, without a doubt. Very tall hitters. Here's Jordan Taha. Stepping in for Limon. The pitch. Right down the middle for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. We are well underway here in this elimination game. And the pitch swing and a miss. We're going to try to solidify our signal here momentarily. Here we go at 0-2. And the pitch swung on line. That's a base hit into right center field. That's going to score another run. Around third. And scoring easily is Hutzel. And the Badgers lead 2-0. Wow, they've had some big hits here, without a doubt. And those are back-to-back doubles to score the runs. And this will send up the number 6 hitter for Limon. And we'll bring you some numbers here momentarily as well. That is Jamie Jacklich, hitting for the right side. And the pitch. That's a strike. No balls and one strike here to Jamie Jacklich. Once again, this is a 2-0 Limon lead. And the pitch. Swung on and tapped foul up the third base side. This Badger team, they had a better record than Brush. And they defeated Brush earlier this season by a score of 3-1. And Braylon Rule looks in. The pitch swung on and lifted into shallow right center field. That'll drop for a base hit. Taha around third. She will score easily. It's an RBI single for Jacklich. That is 3 2-out base hits for Limon and RBI hits. They now lead 3-0. That'll bring up Jaslyn Rossler. And this team is stroking the softball today, without a doubt. So 3-0, and the Bead Diggers now have a hole they got to dig out of. That is taken for a strike down the middle. No balls and one strike. Here to Rosler. Boy, some special hitting here. Some very special hitting. And the offering. Swung on and lifted into shallow left center field. That is going to drop for a base hit. And advancing to second will be Jacklich. How about this for the Limon Badgers? That ball was not hit hard, a little Texas leaguer. But they've got 4 hits in the opening inning, and that Bead Digger error really hurt. That really did hurt. Here is Kylie Freeman, the 8th hitter of the inning. As Freeman is stepping in. And the offering. That is taken for a strike on the inner half. Belt high, no balls and one strike. We'll get to the Bead Digger starting lineup here in the bottom of the first inning. But what an inning so far for Limon with 3 runs. And that is a strike at the knees. Braylon Rule's throwing well. He's only thrown 3 balls unofficially in this inning and 13 strikes. Maybe too many strikes at this point. And the pitch swung on and missed in the dirt. Bruno throws to first to record the out. And the Bead Diggers finally get the out here to end the inning. So it's 3-0 in favor of Limon as we head to the bottom of the first inning. And we're going to bring you the Bead Digger starting lineup, which is brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Mobile banking on the go makes banking easier for you when you're on the go. Check them out today. That is Equitable Savings and Loan. Batting first is the second baseman, Avery Lefevre. The second hitter is the pitcher, Braylon Rule. Batting in the third position is the left fielder, Harley Holdren. Mason Unrein, the third baseman today, is hitting fourth. Batting fifth. Let's see if we clean things up here. Batting fifth is Carly Tatalini. And we'll run through the rest of the lineup. She's the shortstop today. Olivia Gillick at first hit sixth. And the rest of the lineup has got Keeley Langford batting seventh. She's the center fielder. Amaya Bruno, the catcher, at eighth. And batting ninth for Brush is the right fielder, Delaney Draggart. So there's your lineup here for the Bead Diggers. For this first-round tournament game, a 16-team field, and the Bead Diggers trail Limon 3-0. The pitch is a strike. This is from the right-hander, Owens. No balls and one strike. Hitting from the right side. And that pitch is up and away. Count levels at 1-1. And the offering. That is a ball. Boy, Lefevre was on base, what was it, 7 times? I mean, she was on base so many times against the 2 teams they played last Saturday. And the pitch is swung on and grounded foul up the third base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here to Avery Lefevre, 3 runs on 4 hits in the opening inning. And the top of the first, that is, for Limon. And Owens looking in, and the offering. Oh, she bounced it behind the hitter. That was not pretty. So now we're looking at 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 to the leadoff hitter for Brush. The winner will take on, more than likely, Lutheran. They're involved in a game right now. And that's a 1 versus a 16. And the offering. Swung on and lifted into shallow left center field. Should be a routine play that might be marked. And the ball got over her glove. Oh, she dropped the ball and might have got a piece of the glove, but that'll be an error. Oh, man, that's a routine fly into center. And unless the sun was in her eyes, it was just dropped by Marks. So the Bay Diggers catch a huge break. And safe to say you can't play like that if you advance either team. Because Brush also committed an error in the first inning. And that led to the runs that Lyman's got right now. The pitch. Swung on, line towards center field, coming on is Marks. He's got a plate on a hop. Lefevre to third. First and third. Good job there. Now the Bay Diggers are set, ready to go to perhaps tie this game in the bottom of the first inning. Well, now we've seen that Paige Hutzell is at first base. Big, strong left-handed hitter here for Limon. 3-0. Stepping in is Harley Holdren. She led the team in runs batted in this year. And not sure what's happening over there. And the pitch. Swung on and grounded foul up the third base side. Count is at no balls and 1 strike to Harley Holdren. And a pitch. Up and in. Runner goes to second. No throw. Braylon Rule has a steal. 1-1. The Bee Diggers trailing 3-0, but trying to change that right now in the bottom of the first inning. Limon came up with 3 runs on 4 hits, all 2-out RBI base hits. But Brush trying to respond right now. And the pitch. That is upstairs. 2-1. Here to Harley Holdren. Second and third with nobody out. Bottom of the first inning from Aurora Sports Park, and a glorious day, I should say. 52 degrees at first pitch, swung on and lifted down the right field line. And going back, still going back, and it's over the glove of the right fielder. That looked like it was misplayed. 2 runs are going to score. Rule is around third. It's a 2-run double. That'll be a straight-up double, though, for Harley Holdren. And the Bee Diggers now trail 3-2, but those are makeable plays out there. Man, if I'm Limon, I'm worried about that outfield defense because that was very makeable out there. The ball to the right fielder. Let's see, don't know if we, well, there you go. We'll fit here momentarily. But nonetheless, that was an issue out there. We know Marks is in center. That we know for sure. So Mason Unrein up there, trailing 3-2 is Brush, but Nobody out. Swung on and grounded. Shortstop side backhanded. Long throw to first. That's going to be late in the base hit. Now to third is Holden. The throw, the slide, the tag, and the ball is loose anyway. It'll be a base hit. And the Bay-Diggers are taking advantage of some of Limon's mistakes here. First and third now is still with nobody out. And Brush could be headed for a 2:30 game against Lutheran if they keep this up. So here we go. With the left-handed hitting Kylie Tattalini after the base hit from Unrein. And the pitch is a strike at the knees. No balls and one strike. First and third for Brush. Looking in. Yeah, looking over for her pitch count there. Her pitch sign is Brylan Owens. And squaring the bunt, and that was fouled at the plate. Unrein had taken off for second. She'll have to go back. One ball and one strike. Yeah, we'll try a fresh connection here in between innings. I think we finally got things solved out here. And looking into the pitch. And that is taken outside. Ball 2, strike 1. Again, the Bay-Diggers trail 3-2, bottom of the first inning. Both teams have committed an error already. And Brush looking to capitalize, swung on and drilled foul up the right side. Man, that ball was hit a mile by the powerful Kylie Tattalini. Count remains at 1-2. Here to Tattalini. And the pitch from Owens. That bounces in, nearly bounced away. No advance at first base. Two balls and two strikes. All right, back at headquarters, I'm going to try to get us on via the conventional method here. See how that works, and the pitch is low. As you can imagine, this place is jam-packed. Jam-packed. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swung on, grounded to second, and Freeman's got it. Throw to second for 1. No throw to first. That'll score a run. It'll be a 4-6 fielder's choice, and the Bay-Diggers have tied the game at 3 in the bottom of the first inning. That'll send up Olivia Jillick. So Jillick steps in for the right side, and the pitch. Upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 to Jillick. She's the 6th hitter of the inning. The offering, and that's down and in. Two balls and no strikes. Here to Jillick. Owens, the right-hander to the plate. Swag and a miss. Boy, she took a big hack at that. Ball 2, strike 1. In the bottom of the first inning, the Bay-Diggers and Limon Badgers tied at 3. The pitch swung on and lifted into shallow left field. That could be trouble going out. That ball might drop. It is going to drop. Oh, man, way off the bag at first base, and now a force at second as the play was made out in left field. That'll go 7-5, and eliminated was Kylie Tattalini. Probably should have been further down the line, but that's just going to go as a fielder's choice as the ball was picked up and she was the only runner on base and a force out at second, 2 down. And here is Keeley Langford. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Got to get a lot close. She didn't read that at all. She should have been way up that line. The pitch. Yeah, you can tell that was not going to be caught by the shortstop. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, it looks like Jacklich might be over at short. And the offering. That bounces in. Nearly did. 2-0. Again, the game is tied at 3. In the bottom of the first inning. We'll keep it here for just a second. And the pitch. A strike on the outside corner to Langford. Now, you could not have the temperature any better. It was like 10 degrees warmer here than in Fort Morgan. Early this morning, at about 7 o'clock, it was in the 30s in Fort Morgan, already 44 here. Down and in. Count is at 3-1 to Langford. Off of first is Urich, or at first. That is a strike going to second to throw, and it's late. It's a stolen base. It's always a delayed steal in softball. It really isn't. It's just a conventional steal. 3-2. 3 runs on 4 hits for Limon, 3 runs on 3 hits for Brush. Both teams have committed a crucial error. If not, we're not looking at a 3-3 game. Langford awaits the payoff pitch. Here it is. Swung on and fouled to the screen. Pitch was up in the zone. Remains at 3-2. We'll see if Owens can get out of this right now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Swung on and fouled straight back again. Oh, Keeley Langford is hanging tough. We'll see if she could do it here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. As soon as this half inning's over, we'll establish our conventional connection. Swung on and lined, and that is foul up the third base. Kind of fisted her a bit. Count remains at 3-2.
And the offering. Okay, there you go. Fouled straight back. Now you should hear us even clearer right now. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, there's a lot of signal interruption here, but I think we were able to solve the issue. So 3-2 here to Keeley Langford. Again, the game tied at 3. That pitch is up and away. And we're in for a long game the way this one's going. And it's a walk. She's on for Amaya Bruno. Well, that's a great plate appearance there for Keeley Langford. The winner plays at 2:30 at the earliest. Because if this game goes long, the 12:15 game will start late. Amaya Bruno for Brush. Big season. She's been all over the place in the lineup. Swung on, lifted to center field. That'll be caught by Marks. Little liner hit by Bruno, and that was not a good inning defensively for either side. But the Bee Diggers do pick up 3 runs on 3 hits. As we have played 1 inning. High Plains Bank, your friendly local community bank serving Wiggins and all the surrounding areas. I'm John Beltran here on the Eastern Plains Sports Network as Brush and Limon are tied at 3. This is an 8 versus a 9, and that first inning took close to half an hour. And it wasn't necessarily because these teams were swinging it very well. They were in certain spots, but just some shaky defense without a doubt. All right, a 30-second break on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. All right, we'll keep it right here. Top of the second inning. And let's see who's going to step in here for Limon. This will be Caitlin Taha, the number 9 hitter in the lineup. They sent 8 to the plate, obviously, in the first inning. Deadlocked at 3. Now let's see which defense picks up. We'll run through the Limon numbers here momentarily, and that bounces in. 1 ball and no strikes. And the offering, strike right down the middle. One ball and 1 strike. And the pitch, swung on and fisted on the ground, right back to the circle, and the throw to first. And Braylon Rule is retired, the first hitter here in the top of the second inning, as Taha is done 1-3. That'll send up the number 1 hitter in the lineup, Brenlyn Owens. She's 0 for 1. She tried to bunt her way on for the left side, but Amaya Bruno threw her out. And the pitch, scoring to bunt. She bunts it up the first base side, foul. No balls and 1 strike. Not just a bank in Colorado. Their Bank of Colorado, a proud supporter of local sports and academics. No balls, 1 strike. We're in the top of the second inning. Brush 3, Limon 3. And the pitch, squaring to bunt, lays it down, foul, first base side again. Bee Diggers will take that all day. No balls and 2 strikes. It's a rare Friday morning that we're on the air with a sporting event, but that's what happens at a state softball tournament. To advance to the action tomorrow, you need to win 2 games. And University is not only the favorite here in 3A, they are the prohibitive favorite. They don't have a single senior on their team. They're 25-0. They've won their last 10 games by 9 runs or more. In fact, every game has been decided by 9 runs or more except 3 against Devlin, Golden, and Ralston Valley, and those are all upper classification schools. So Lutheran should win this thing with the way they played this year. Nobody came close. Even Eaton couldn't touch them. Fouled straight back. They lost to Eaton, or they beat Eaton 11-1. Count is sitting it. No balls and 2 strikes to Owens, with 1 out in the top of the second inning from Aurora. And the pitch. And that is a changeup upstairs. This is the same field the Bee Diggers were eliminated on last year, unfortunately, in the state semifinals. But this has the appearance of a slugfest. The pitch, swung on and tapped slowly. Third base side, picked up by Rule. Throw to first late. It's a base hit. That little dribbler allowed Owens, a speedy Owens, to beat it out. It's the 5th hit of the game for Limon. Here's Trista Mark. She reached on the air on a little flare that was dropped over there by Braylon Rule in the first inning. Looking in. And squaring to bunt. And takes it for a strike, but the ball's off the glove of Bruno. That'll be a pass ball. Runner all the way to third, and the ball skips into left field. Owens is going to hold up, though, backed up very nicely. In left field by Harley Holdren. However, it will be a strike, a pass ball, no throwing error because she took third anyway on the pass ball. No balls and one strike. Again, 3-3, Brush and Limon. The infield is playing in for the Bee Diggers, wearing their gold uniforms with the black pants. And the offering squaring to bunt and lays it down, foul up the third base side. We'll have a full update coming up a little bit later on our 1010 KSIR Sports Facebook page. But for now, the count is sitting at 0-2 on Trista Marks, the center fielder. The pitch, up and away. A ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, good season for both teams, but both are not expected to advance past the state quarters. Well, they can't because they're playing each other, but a swing and a miss on a pitch that was helmet high. Boy, Marks was fooled on the rise ball. She strikes out. 2 down. And for Braylon Rule, that is her third strikeout. Here's Ryan Urich. Ryan with a strikeout swinging in the first inning. That made it 2 outs, and then all of a sudden Limon puts together 3 consecutive 2-out hits. The offering, strike on the inner half. It's 0-1. Keep in mind this was a 3-1 Limon victory when they played earlier this season. Scored more runs than that in the opening inning, with 6 combined. The pitch, swung on and grounded. First baseman right underneath the glove of Jillick. She didn't keep her body or glove down either. It's an error. A run will score from third. It's 4-3 Limon. Boy, if she just puts her left or right knee down, she blocks the ball, but instead tried to field it cleanly. And the bag was about 2 feet to her left. And that's the reason that neither team really has a chance of advancing after this game, because you're taking on a university team a Lutheran team that doesn't make any mistakes. 25-0. And the pitch goes right underneath Bruno. To second will be Ryan Urich. 1 ball and no strikes. However, they get to this point, so you certainly have to applaud that. When you get to a point like this, you got to be happy about that. Hutzel doubled, that is, in the first inning, driving in a run. And the offering. And that is a strike, belt high on the inner half. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Still just in the top of the second inning. This has the makings of a 2+ hour game. And Braylon Rule comes home. Swung on and fouled straight back, and the count goes to 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. To Paige Hutzel. The pitch, swung on, grounded down the third base side, and that is foul, just foul. And that didn't miss by much. That was headed for the corner. But that inside-out swing allows the ball to spin sideways. And that's what happened. If not, it'd be 5-3. So the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. 4-3 Limon, top of the second inning. And the pitch, swung on and fouled straight back there. By play for Bruno along the first base side. It just bounces foul. Count remains at 1-2. I don't think she saw it off the bat, and nobody said anything. You know, there your pitcher, first baseman's got to help your catcher, because they still have the mask on. She didn't rip the mask off, but I think had she ripped the mask off, there wouldn't have been time. It was hit probably about 15 feet in the air and along the first base side. The pitch, very high. Yeah, you don't want to throw it in the meat of the strike zone to Paige Hutzel, especially after that double. It was nearly a home run down the left field side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. To the plate. That is upstairs, just above the letters. 3-2. With a runner at second. Trying to do some 2-out damage. And the pitch. Swung on, line foul. Boy, she's got a great swing. Tremendous swing. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here in the top half of the second inning, Limon Scored 3 in the first, 1 so far in the second. The Bead Diggers want to keep it right there at 4-3. And Braylon Rule to the plate. Swing and a foul to the backstop. We'll do it again, and that pitch is up and in. It's a walk. So the inning continues. And here we go with Jordan Tahoe, who doubled. A strike. No balls and 1 strike. She drove in a run. Bead Diggers in a 4-3 hole, and the pitch swung on and chopped up the middle. Shortstop cannot get to it. A dive by Tatalini, a base hit. Rounding third is Ryan Urich. She scores, and it's an RBI single for Taha, and Limon now leads 5-3. Man, we're set for a marathon here. We are set for a long game as Jamie Jacklich will step in, and look what Limon has done. All these runs with 2 outs. But the Olivia Gillick error killed them. All she had to do was put that knee down. She would have blocked that ball at first base with the bag literally less than 3 feet away from her. That would have ended the inning. You can't end the inning. These are unearned runs. Jacklich singled in a run. First and second with 2 down. Limon leads by 2, scoring to bunt. And that is in the dirt. Nearly skipped away. Nice play there by the catcher, Amaya Bruno. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, you know that you're playing for a state quarterfinal spot. And regardless of the outcome, you have to play better here. And that's taken right there for a strike. Bell tie in the inner half. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tom Odell, the head coach of the Bead Diggers, cannot be happy about what's happening defensively with this team. 2 easy errors. One by Braylon Rule, the other by Olivia Gillick. The pitch swung on and fouled back. Right on top of the press box. Well, actually, no. It went over that and the building behind us. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This might not be the team that comes up with the most hits. Might be the team that just simply plays the better defense. Swung on and fisted foul up the first base side. And the count is remaining at 1-2. Premier Farm Credit, the gold standard in ag lending. Sterling, Fort Morgan, Yuma, and Holyoke. Premier Farm Credit, outstanding sponsor of Bead Digger Athletics and Morgan County Athletics. Fouled up the third base side. We certainly thank their patronage and all of the sponsors putting us on the air here for this state tournament game and throughout the course of the season, not just softball. We had football last night. Swung on and fouled back. See what the Bead Diggers did last night? They won the Patriot League East Championship, beating Fort Lupton 70-0. And the last 2 touchdowns were scored by the second team unit. Yeah, Coach went for virtually the entire second half, had the second teamers in there. They did very well on senior night. And the pitch swung on and driven foul up the left field side. Braylon Rule's over 50 pitches already. 50 unofficially. Jamie Jacklich hitting from the right side. Man, they are stretching out these plate appearances. Paige Hudsell at second base saw 11 pitches. This will be number 8 to Jacklich, first and second. The offering, and that's down and in. Nice scoop up there by Amaya Bruno. Yeah, you're waiting for the pace of this game at some point to pick up, but not now. The pitch swung on, grounded right back to the circle. Braylon Rule throws to first. And that finally does it for this top half of the second inning. 2 runs on 2 hits, a Bead Digger error, and 2 left. Let's read the line score to you. 5 runs on 6 hits, an error for Limon, 4 left on base, 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, 2 left on base for Brush. The disturbing thing with both sides, the errors that have been committed have been brutal. Easy plays. Fly to center fielder Trista March for Limon, and somehow it was just misplayed over there. And then the 2 by Brush that I referenced earlier. And you have to wonder, is there a case of the nerves here at all? Got to be some nerves, because those are some pretty conventional plays, especially when you're a playoff team. And when you're a playoff team, you just don't make mistakes to that account. All right, so the Bee Diggers in the bottom of the second inning will have 9-1-2. Delaney Draggart, followed by Avery Lefevre and Braylon Rule, trailing 5-3. You know what? When I want to check out here the unearned runs, that'll tell the story right now. The unearned runs will tell everything. As Draggart steps in, Draggart's hitting certainly improved later on in the year. Strong right-handed hitter. She had a great plate appearance against Eaton earlier this year. Went about 11 pitches. Swing and a miss. That pitch was up in the zone. No balls and 1 strike, probably out of the zone. Here to Delaney Draggart. She'll settle back into the box. The offering scoring to bunt, and she did wave at it. That pitch was eye high. It's 0-2. Yeah, I mean, Coach Odell wants his players to be aggressive, but not to that point. That should be 2-0 at this point. And Draggart has given this pitcher, Owens, a couple of strikes. Looking in, and the pitch. She took that one, but nearly waved at it. And that count now is at 1-2. The offering swung on and lifted towards shallow center field. Coming on is Marks. She'll make the running catch. It's a nice play there by Marks. 1 out. Yeah, I have to believe that on the other play, the sun might have been in her eyes on that miscue in center earlier, because she made that look easy, like she's been playing the position for years. Avery Lefevre reached on that error on that ball hit to Marks. Now, she's not wearing a visor either. And this sun is out in full force. The pitch, foul to the screen. It fisted the right-handed hitting second baseman. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, that's what I think this is going to boil down to. Who plays the better defense? Limon won during the regular season 3-1. They're up 5-3 in the second now. The winner plays at 2:30 against Lutheran. And I'm going to assume a victory because they're 25-0 and nobody competes with Lutheran. We'll try to get that score before we go off air. It is 0-1 to Avery Lefevre with the bases empty in the bottom of the second inning. And the offering. Change-up is a strike. That's a beautiful pitch by Owens. Oh, man. Did she pull the string beautifully there? No balls and 2 strikes. That's the best pitch she's thrown so far in this game. The offering. Up and away. 38 pitches unofficially for Owens. The count is at 1-2. Here to Avery Lefevre. Only a sophomore and had a big year. Swung on line center field. Marks is coming on as to field it on a hop. Avery Lefevre, what else is new? A base hit. And the Bee Diggers pick up their 4th hit of the game. Braylon Rule had one of those 4. She will now step in. And Braylon, she's tall, lanky, and strong. Sometimes you look at a tall, lean player, and you figure, well, how much power did they have? She's got a lot of power. She has a lot of length when she pitches and when she hits. The pitch swung on and grounded foul, third base side. And she's only a junior. The Bee Diggers only have 1 senior on the squad. That's left fielder Harley Holdren. No balls and 1 strike. 5-3 Limon, 1 out, 1 on. in the bottom of the second inning, excuse me. Both teams scored 3 runs in the first in the pitch, and that's taken low. Throw back to first, Lefevre back in diving as Jackledge tried to backpick her, and the count is at 1-1. 3 other games going on in 3A. In fact, there are 16 games right now. Check it, 12 games. 3A, 4A, and 5A, 4 apiece. The pitch swung on, line toward center field. Marks is going back. She's going to make the catch just shy of the fence. Back to first is Lefevre, 2 down. That ball was hit on the line, but it hung for the Limon center fielder. And you can't hit the ball much harder than that. Might have gone in a little bit on her fist. Harley Holdren doubled in a run on a ball that, quite frankly, could have been caught out in right field. It had some carry to it, but a late jump. And right there by, I think that's Rosler out there. The offering, fouled straight back. No balls and 1 strike. Here to Harley Holdren, the RBI leader for Brush this season. Came through in the clutch a ton. 15 wins for the Bead Diggers in 2021 against 10 losses. The pitch swung on and grounded slowly to short. Routine play. Throw to first will be in time. Boy, that was a bang-bang play as Ryan Urich throws out Harley Holdren. And that does it for Brush here in the bottom of the second inning. As they do not score a hit, no errors and 1 left. We'll go to the third. Stubbs Gas and Oil, another fine sponsor of Morgan County Athletics. Fill up your cooler, gas up your car. Stubbs Gas and Oil, easy and convenient. Make them the only stop you need on your way to the big game. That is Stubbs Gas and Oil. A reminder that coming up tonight on B106 and B106.com, all parts of what we call the Eastern Plains Sports Network. It'll be number 1 versus number 4 in 3A football. Roosevelt, the number 1 team at 7-0, the defending state runner-up. And in Fort Morgan, I should say, the number 4 team at 6-0. Mustang Express at 6 o'clock on B106 with kickoff at 7 o'clock. Also keep in mind that right here on 1010 tonight, the Colorado Prep Scoreboard show with Kevin Schaefer from 9:30 to 11. And if you haven't heard that, Kevin's a machine. Scores and interviews. It's just not scores for 90 minutes. Kevin will talk to some of the winning coaches across the state tonight on the Colorado Prep Scoreboard show. Now, the first Bead Digger run of the game was brought to you by Western Engineering Consultants. Engineering and consulting services for all of your projects. Strong commitment to their clients' needs sets them apart. Western Engineering Consultants. That was Lefevre scoring in the first inning, and now she's in the circle. We already have a change. Lefevre's in the circle. Carly Tatalini looks like she's moved to second. And Braylon Rule is at short. I don't know if that was by design or an injury situation. Here's Jasley Rossler scoring a bunt and takes it for a strike. 5-3 Limon. We're in the top of the third inning. In this elimination game, they're all elimination games now. There's no double elimination format in softball. You win, you advance. You lose, you're done for the season. And the offering, and that's down and in from the sophomore Avery Lefevre. The count is at 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, the difference now is the defense that Limon played in the second inning because Rule hit the ball hard. Then you had the nice play at short by Ryan Urich, fouled straight back. And let's face it, Limon is just great in every sport. They really are. They are. So they're going to be competitive. And that's why they have won 17 games this year. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just underway, top of the third inning. The Badgers lead the Bead Diggers by 2. And what else is new with Tom Modell? Another state tournament appearance. He just gets it done. Doesn't matter that he graduated almost all of his players. Swung on line, and off the shortstop, Braylon Rule picks it up, no throw to first. That's a base hit. That ball was hit very sharply on the line, so it's a base hit for Rosler. Yeah, that would have been a heck of a play had Braylon made it. Here's Kylie Freeman, who struck out her first time against a starter, Braylon Rule. This is Lefevre, as we mentioned here, with nobody out and one on. Limon looking to add to the lead. Bruno setting up on the outside corner, squaring to bunt, and fouls it straight back. That pitch was up and in. That is not a pitch you want to try and bunt. She should have laid off, and she's getting that instruction right now. Yeah, that's helping out the pitcher, which the Bee Diggers again will accept. Any break they can get. They are the home team, the designated home team. That's because they're the higher seed at number 8. Yeah, the lower the number indicates a higher seed. The Bee Diggers at 8, Limon at number 9. Limon did not win a regional tournament they hosted. Scoring to bunt. That's a gorgeous bunt back to the circle. Throw to first, and in time as Lefevre had to come in 2 steps. It'll be a sacrifice for Freeman. And that'll send up Caitlin Taha. She grounded back to the circle. Her first time up. Limon's got these charcoal uniforms, beautiful uniforms. And I love the Bee Digger jerseys as well, jerseys and pants, but Limon is just one color. The pitch, strike on the inner half belt high. Nice delivery by Avery Lefevre. 7 pitches throw so far, 6 for strikes, and she works on those mechanics. No balls and 1 strike. Looking in, and the offering, and that's down and in. Count levels at 1-1. I'm John Beltran, live from the 3A state tournament in Aurora. 5 innings to go in this game, including this one. The offering, swung on, grounded to third. Looking back, throwing to first, and in time, that's Amaya Bruno. Now at third, as Brisa Aguirre Garcia is behind the plate. I should have pointed that out, as that change was also made to strengthen this team defensively. And that certainly did the job there. Runner advances to third on the throw, so Rosler is right there for Owens. 1 for 2. She bunted into an out, and then a base hit squaring to bunt again. That's a strike. Down the middle, thigh high, it's 0-1. 3 pitchers logging innings this year for Brush. Braylon Rule, Mason Unrein, and this pitcher now Lefevre. Second pitcher for Brush in this game. Bruno is playing in at third, trying to protect against the bunt. Squaring to bunt, lays it down foul, third base side. It's tough because now you're thinking about it when you're Owens, when the third baseman is halfway between the plate and the bag. And if you're going to bunt now, you got to put it in play. If not, it's an out. No balls and 2 strikes. Trista Marks is on deck. Limon leads 5-3 in the top of the third inning. 3 runs for each team in the first. Limon scored 2 in the second. And Tom Odell making changes already with his lineup to try to propel his team and do anything they can to win this game. The pitch swung on and fouled off to the left. Yeah, I think we can safely say now, no way that all 12-15 games will start on their scheduled time. It's not going to happen. No way. No balls and 2 strikes because of this game alone. It's 10:56, and we're only in the third. The pitch, boy, just off the corner. That's a good take by Owens. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We did have a 1-2-3 inning. Actually, it was 4-batter inning. The pitch swung on and lifted towards left field. Holdren's going back. Oh, she came in on the ball. It's over a glove. That's going to score the run. A base hit now to second. It'll be a straight-up double. The ball gets loose on the throw, and the throw to third and safe for Braylon Owens. It's 6-3 Limon. I think Holdren misjudged that ball. If she goes back, it's an easy catch. She came in, and that thing stayed up there and kept going. We'll call it a double, and the runner advances to third on the throw to the infield. No error. Here's Trista Marks. And a lot of 2-out hits here for Limon, a ton of them. Scoring to bunt and takes it for a strike. Again, Marks, I believe, was the player of the year as a junior in basketball when Limon won the state championship. She's got to stand at about, I believe, 6'1", 6'2". Heck of an athlete. Runner at third with 2 down. Limon has scored in every inning. The offering, and that bounces, and nice play by Urich. I see a throwback to third, back in diving is Owens. Nice throw there by Brisa. 1 ball and 1 strike. Feels like Lefevre has thrown a ton of pitches, but only 16 in her first inning of work. Brush now knows they've got to score at least 7 runs to win the game because they're down 6-3. The pitch. That one bounces away. That's going to score a run to the plate. And crossing home plate is Owens. It's 7-3 on the wild pitch. The Badgers with the lead. And Marks up there with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Couple of errors, couple of wild pitches, a pass ball, a misplay, a throw that got loose in the infield, and the Bee Diggers have not even come close to bringing their A game. The offering swung on line towards left field. Holdren coming on, and the ball goes right off the top of her glove. Marks around first into second. That'll be an error on Harley Holdren. It was hit right to her, and somehow did not secure the softball as hard as that's hit. That is a definite error on Brush, their third of the game. That extends the inning for Ryan Urich, who has struck out and reached on an error. She is 0 for 2. Bee Diggers are in danger here of getting into a huge hole. They're already down 7-3. This is already the third plate appearance in as many innings for the number 3 hitter, squaring to bunt, and that's taken inside. 1 ball and no strikes. And now, a throw to third. The Bee Diggers got lazy. No throw to third, just a steal of third. I don't know what happened there. I put my head down, and Marks took off for third. Not right after the pitch. She slid in head first. It is a stolen base. I don't think the ball got loose. I didn't see the ball get loose at all. 1 ball and no strikes. Straight up at 11 o'clock Mountain Time. I'm John Beltran. This is 1010 KSIR, Brush, Fort Morgan, Otis, and KSIR.com. And the pitch. That is a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Thanks to Christy Creighton. She guided me to Aurora today via the lack of my technology. Let's put it that way. And the offering. Swung on and lifted towards shallow center. And now it's got some carry to it. And it's caught over there by the center fielder. I think Tatalini moved back over there. She did. Tatalini in center was able to make the play. And that ends an inning that shouldn't have been that well for Limon. They score a couple of runs. And the Badgers do it on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left. We have 2.5 complete on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Morgan Community College is here to make your dreams become a reality for both traditional and non-traditional students. Check them out at morgancc.edu. That is Morgan Community College. 3 runs in the first inning, 2 more in the second, 2 more in the third. The Bee Diggers' runs came in the bottom of the first inning. And what I was going to do earlier was run to the pitching category. Owens has allowed 3 runs. 2 of those are earned. Rule and Lefevre, 7 runs allowed. Of Rule's 5 runs allowed, 0 were earned. And Lefevre has allowed 2 earned runs. And that's because, well, that should have been, I thought one of those would have been unearned on that ball hit to Holdren. No, yeah, that would be, that had nothing to do with it because there was nobody on base at the time. That just extended the inning because that 7th run scored in a wild pitch. Well, let's see if Brush gets on track here offensively. Mason Unrein, Carly Tatalini, and Olivia Gillick against the right-hander, Breland Owens. Limon in this game has 8 hits. The Bee Diggers have 4. And Limon has stranded 5 despite the 7 runs. The Bee Diggers have left 3 on base over the first 2 innings. The pitch swung on line, and Mason unrinds 2 for 2 in the left center field gap. Flag down. She'll be held to a single, and Unrind just swinging the bat really well. Here's Carly Tattalini. I mean, that's Brush's strength. Their strength is not defense, and pitching comes and goes. Their strength is their hitting. That's the only way they're going to be able to advance to the state quarterfinals. Plenty of hitting. It's not going to be enough to beat Lutheran. I don't know who's got a better chance against Lutheran, but a 25-0 team. The pitch upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. But we have seen certainly the defense make a significant difference. 1 ball and no strikes to Tattalini. Hit into a fielder's choice her first time up, and that's up and in. 2-0, the Bee Diggers have been in rally mode certain games this year. Against Sterling, they nearly came back. Against Strasburg, they came back and beat them twice. So they know how to win games when trailing. And this is another situation for Brush. The pitch swung on and fouled straight back. Watch out, headed to the other field. Ball 2, strike 1 to Carly Tattalini. In the bottom of the 3rd inning. Limon 7, Brush 3. Owens delivers, and that's down and away. One of these teams is going to win what will be a slugfest. There's no way you're going to keep Brush at 3. No way. I think Brush is going to score close to 10 runs in this game, if not more. Swung on and grounded, foul, first base side. Yeah, they're too talented in offense to be held down. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The question is, how many is Limon going to score? Because they can club it. I mean, this has the makings of a 14-13 type of game. We're not even halfway through. We played over an hour. 3-2, unrun at first. Nobody out in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The pitch swung on. That's grounded foul, first base side. That's good, you ground that thing foul. That's fair. It's an easy step on the bag for the first baseman, Hutzel. We'll do it again at 3-2. This is big here for this part of the lineup. It could set the table for the bottom of the order. And the pitch swung on, grounded to the first baseman, and on the bag, 1 out is Hutzel. In fact, she stuck the glove on top of the bag. It was just fair. Nice backhanded play. Advancing to second is Unrind, 1 out. And that was a 1-hopper, a very hard-hit ball. But Hutzel was hugging the line. Jillick hit into that 7-5 fielder's choice when Tattalini was way too close to first base. And as a result, the ball fell in, and they threw out easily. The pitch swung on and fouled off to the right. No balls and 1 strike as that descends towards another field here in 3A. The top seed Lutheran is playing Rocky Ford right now. And again, we have no idea what the scores are. And it's tough to even find updates on the internet. The connection here is not good at all with any device. You need upgraded equipment, which we have. The pitch, low. But we use that for our broadcast. 1 ball and 1 strike. A lot of people here, a lot of traffic. Lot of traffic. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. 7-3 Limon, bottom of the 3rd inning. The pitch swung on, grounded as short. Could be a routine play. Throw to third, the slide, safe. Oh, I'm not sure why Ryan Urich went to third. Mason Unrein had a great jump from second to third. That'll be a fielder's choice, no base hit. Just a fielder's choice. Excellent base running there by Mason Unrein. She knew she had it. She knew she had it. And there was no doubt there. I mean, it was a good throw and a perfect tag, but yeah, I had a feeling that throw was going to be to first, but maybe Urich thought she had no play at first. And because we don't know, we have to score that a fielder's choice. Keeley Langford walked on a 3-2 pitcher first time up. The offering swung on and fouled straight back. First-year varsity softball player as a junior. Keeley's had a nice season. No balls and 1 strike. Played a little infield, but mainly the outfield. Mainly in center. And the offering. And that bounces in. In fact, I have to check the defensive alignment because I thought Tatalini had moved to second and Keeley was still in center, and yet I credited Tatalini with the putout. So we'll have to check that alignment because Tom Odell moved a few players around. Actually, I think Keeley moved to right, and Delaney Draggart is out of the game. Swung on and fouled back. We'll get confirmation on that here momentarily. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I would think that's the case. Brisa's in. And she came in defensively in the top of the 3rd inning. 1-2 to Langford. They're going to try and throw the rise ball again. That's the pitch she's fouling off. That pitch up at the letters. The pitch down in the zone and away. And the count levels at 2-2. Bottom 3 here in Aurora. At Aurora Sports Park. Game time temp was 52 degrees. And it's ascending. We're in the mid-50s right now. And the pitch swung on and tapped foul along the 3rd base side. 66 degrees. Are you kidding me? Wow. All right. I thought I saw 5-5. It's a 6-6. Man, did that go up quickly. 14 degrees warmer since the first pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That pitch in the dirt. See if I miscounted there. Yeah, but it's 3-2. 3-2 to Keeley. That's 2 consecutive balls with a runner at 3rd base and 1 at 2nd. The pitch. And that is low. It's a walk. As Gillick had taken off on the previous pitch with a steal. Keeley walks for the 2nd time. The bases are loaded here for Amaya Bruno, who lined to center first time up. Will have a visit to the circle. But the Bee Diggers down by 4. And that certainly gives us a chance to let you know that the Brush football team will play their regular season finale off their Patriot League East Championship coming up a week from tonight in Keensburg against Weld Central. 7 o'clock kickoff on 1010 KSIR. B&B Appliance and Repair, from refrigerators to vacuums and everything in between. They have exactly what you need and they'll service it too. B&B Appliance and Repair. So here we go. Amaya Bruno can change the game with 1 swing. Down by 4, 1 out, bottom of the 3rd inning. They're in at the corners. Rylan Owens delivers. That is a strike. Wow, that's a high strike. Top of the zone. At the letters, it's 0-1. Very top of the zone. And Brisa Aguirre Garcia is on deck. The pitch. Swung on and fouled back. Another rise ball. Count is at 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Outside. Boy, that's a nice backhanded stab there by Jacklich. Now it's 1-2, John. I mean, you would think that counting from 0 to 1 is not a difficult challenge, but apparently I have disproved that theory. Bases loaded, 1 out. 7-3 Limon in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Amaya Bruno, the number 8 hitter in this lineup for Brush. The pitch. Swung on and grounded slowly to 3rd. Oh, it's going to be fielded by the shortstop. Long throw is going to be in time for the out. It looked like Urich was going to give way to Rosler, but she actually charged that ball and made the nice throw to retire the hitter. Mason Unrein scores 7-4, 2nd and 3rd now with 2 down. So it turns into a productive out, but the Bee Diggers, of course, need more. Down by 3. Big at bat here for Brisa Aguirre Garcia. Her first plate appearance of the game. The right-hander delivers, and that is low. 1 ball and no strikes. You are listening to live coverage of the Class 3A State Softball Championships. I'm John Beltran from Aurora, and that is a strike just below letter level. And the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. The defenses have played better. Limon's has, Brush has not. They've got 3 errors in the game. The offering, that's right down the middle for a strike. Belt high. Brisa let a good one go there. 1-2. I thought she'd swing at that pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 down, 1 across in the bottom of the 3rd. Owens trying to get out of this jam. The pitch outside. That's a nice take there by the freshman. 2-2. And they've got to get her out, because if Limon doesn't, you got to deal with Lefevre, who has been an offensive weapon for Brush. The pitch swung on and fisted on the ground. Nice backhanded play by the first baseman, Hutzel. She made 2 really nice plays in the inning, and the Bee Diggers are held to 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. The Bee Diggers have stranded 5 through 3. Limon leads Brush after 3, 7-4, right here on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. When it comes to experience, Buildings by Design is the very best in the business. Quality, commitment, and experience makes Buildings by Design the only choice when it comes to your next project. That is Buildings by Design. As we'll head to the 4th inning here coming up momentarily. Avery Lefevre is back in the circle, and she's got to keep this team at bay, without a doubt. You've got to keep Limon right where they are. It's too good of a team right now with the way they're hitting the softball. And again, they've scored in every inning. So Brush has got to make sure that this does not get out of hand, that it stays at 7-4, and to give the Bee Diggers a realistic shot of winning this game and advancing to the state quarterfinals. As if they can do that, again, the chances of beating Lutheran it's dumb and dumber, right? So you're saying there's a chance. There's a chance because either one of these teams will be on the field. But I have to stress, they're a 25-0 team. They have a pitcher averaging about 2 strikeouts an inning, and they've barely been challenged. So that certainly says a lot. Since 2009, Advanced Agri Solutions has been balancing seed, food, and water 1 field at a time. Call Dusty or Roxy to get started on a customized plan for success. 970-571-2024, or visit advanced-agri-solutions.com. And the pitch is up and in to Hutzel. 1 ball and no strikes. Hutzel has doubled and walked. So she is 1 for 1, hitting for the left side and playing very well defensively at the first base position. That is a strike. Bell tie in the outer half. It's 1-1. Seven runs for Limon on 8 hits. 4 runs for Brush on 5. The Bee Diggers with 3 miscues. Limon with 1. That's low. Ball 2, strike 1. We're at the top of the 4th inning in Aurora. The Badgers looking to make it a 1-9 matchup in the state quarters. The Bee Diggers a 1-8 matchup. And that should be 3-1, no? It's up and in. I thought it was 3-1. Was there not a strike signaled earlier? All right. I don't know. That's puzzling to me. I didn't miss a pitch there. Here's Jordan Taha. It's that type of Friday. She doubled and singled. It's Friday, not Monday, right? The pitch scoring to bunt, and she lays it down foul right behind the plate. No balls and 1 strike. So Hutzel's on base for a 3rd time in this game with 2 walks and a double. And the Bead Diggers are in trouble, down 7-4, but we're only in the 4th inning, so they're not in severe trouble. But Limon has scored in every frame. And the pitch. A strike. Okay, I waited for that call, and that's definitely a strike. At the knees, 0-2 to Jordan Taha. Taha's a big name in the Limon community, some terrific athletes. Lefevre delivers. Up and away off the glove of Aguirre Garcia. And on the wild pitch to second is Hutzel. Count is at 1 ball and 2 strikes. When this season began for Brush, they knew the hurdle they had was huge. Okay, you're talking about a team that graduated all but 2 starters that made it to the state semis. The pitch swung on and lifted towards center field. Going back as Tadolini makes the catch. Hutzel back to second, 1 out. And you've got an excellent center fielder there in Tadolini. She's not going to be denied. And 1 down. All right, so resetting these things, by the way. Keeley Langford is at second base. Langford at second, Mason Unrines in right. So that's the alignment defensively to clean it up for Brush. Much different than the game began. Scoring a bunt, lays it down foul first base side by Jacklich. Singled and grounded out. So the infield has got Jillick at first. She was there to begin the game, but the other 3 were not there. Langford at second, Rule at short, and Bruno at third. Rule started the game in the circle. Harley Holdren in left. She was there to begin the game. Tadolini in center was in the infield. And then in right, Mason Unrein. Brisa Aguirre Garcia behind the plate. That pitch is upstairs. So of the 9 players right now for Brush, only 2 remain in the same position as they were 3 innings ago. That's Holdren in left and Jillick at first. The pitch swung on and lifted foul up the third base side towards the Digger dugout. Count remains at 0-2 here to the number 6 hitter in the lineup, Jamie Jacklich. With Limon up 7-4, we're in the top of the 4th inning. A runner at second and 1 down. Braylon Rule gave up 5 runs in 2 innings of work, but all were unearned. Some shaky Brush defense. They've committed 3 errors in the game. Lefevre looks in. Coming back. Change-up is a little bit... called strike 3. There you go. That's what I thought it was there at the knees. What a pitch there by Lefevre, and Jacklich goes down looking, 2 down. That's a money pitch by the sophomore. Jazzy Rosler, though, has singled twice. So she is certainly a headache for Brush. She has not driven in a run, though. But has the shot here, and that pitch is up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Will the Bead Diggers be able to advance here to the state quarterfinals? And when I talked about Lutheran, that's not one of the best teams. Well, it's not only the number 1 team in the state this year, it's one of the best teams ever. I think they could win 4A. That's a strike. They're hitting .513 as a team. Can you imagine getting on base more than half the time? That's what the winner of this game has to contend with. A nearly impossible situation. 1 ball and 1 strike, but they'll take it. They'll welcome the challenge. Lefevre looking for the sign. Well, the sun's right in her eyes. The offering. Swung on and lifted towards center field. That's got to carry Tadolini way back. She has room. She makes the 2-handed grab just shy of the fence, and the Bead Diggers get out of the mini jam. And the inning for Limon. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a runner left at second as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. We're halfway through on the Eastern Plains Sports Network, and Limon leads Brush 7-4. And here come the Bead Diggers with the top of the order, as Avery Lefevre will certainly be stepping in. They're likely to focus less on finding a loan than more on finding the right fit for you. That's Bank of Colorado. There's only one member, FDIC, Bank of Colorado. And Eastern Colorado's a way of life, providing credits and related services to farmer and ag producers. That's Premier Farm Credit. And, of course, visit State Farm agent Greg Mullen, Home Auto Life and Health. Greg Mullen, longtime sponsor of Morgan County Athletics, 4555. That's 970-842-4555. Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance. Lefevre, first time, reached on an air and singled. Now let's go back to last Saturday with Lefevre. In the two games, one against James Irwin and the other against Strasburg, she went 5 for 6 with 2 walks. That's out of the leadoff spot. 7 of 8 times she was at the plate and got on base. And she's done it 2 more times here, even though she benefited from the air. Rylan Owens to begin her 4th inning of work inside the circle. The pitch, up and away. Yeah, I could easily see Brush tie the game here. That's a big inning for Avery Lefevre in this side of the circle, not allowing a run to score. All she has to do is keep the ball out of the air, unless it's a line drive, and she gets on. The pitch, swung on and lifted down the left field line into foul territory, and the ball is dropped out there in foul territory. Wow. It was dropped by Taha. That's going to be an error. She was under that. And Lefevre is back inside the batter's box. That should have been caught. Diggers catch a break. I mean, she was under it. There's no sun, really, to get in her eyes from that angle. Straight away, yes, but not down the left field line. Taha simply just had to go off her glove. And the offering, and you know Lefevre is going to make them pay. 2-1. Yeah, I was ready to say that was out number 1, but instead, it is 2 balls and 1 strike to the leadoff hitter for Brush in the bottom of the 4th inning. Limon leads Brush 7-4 in this elimination game. The pitch, and that is taken below the knees. It's 3-1. Will the Diggers now take advantage and capitalize on that? Yeah, Lefevre, I don't think, swung on that one. So here we go. It'll be a 3-1 pitch to the second pitcher for Brush in the game. And that's not even close. Up and in. Lefevre walks on base for the 3rd time. Here's Braylon Rule. Boy, that's a big miscue in left field. Big miscue. You can sense it right now. You can sense the momentum shift. Braylon has singled and lined to center. 2 good plate appearances this morning. The pitch popped up. Oh, man, she swung at a pitch that was extremely low. The shortstop is going to make the catch. And Ryan Urich to her right, a couple of steps, 1 out. That's a big out there. That got the bottom of the strike zone. I think it was the bottom of the strike zone, but she got way under it. Harley Holdren has doubled and grounded to short. 1 for 2 in the game. And her double drove in 2 runs in the 1st inning. Limon has 3 runs in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd. The pitch is in the dirt and skips away from Jacklich. Lefevre to second on the wild pitch. Count is at 1 ball and no strikes. Brush scored 3 runs in the 1st inning and 1 more in the 3rd. So with 1 out and 1 on, Harley Holdren looking to make this a 7-5 game. 77 pitches thrown by Owens. Looking at the wristband. Coming home. Fouled off a little bit to the right. Late swing by Holdren. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brush has never led in this game. It was 3-0. Then tied at 3. Is Bull Brom done already? You're done already. We'll get a score here from Bull Brom on the Sterling game. They were playing Meeker, and Sterling, I'm sure, won that game. The 4 against the 13. Swung on and grounded to 3rd and off the glove of the 3rd baseman. And now throwing back to 2nd. Lefevre, the tag, and she's out! She is out. The tag was applied by Kylie Freeman on the play made by Jasly Rossler. So that'll be scored initially as an error, allowing the base runner, the hitter, Harley Holdren, to reach. But then Lefevre had to dive back towards 2nd. She's out. Wow, that's a big play there. That's a big play in this game. Tagged out 5-4. And here's Mason Unrein. She's singled twice. Key plays in this game like that. The pitch swung on and chopped foul up the third base side. No balls and 1 strike. Final score, Bull?
12-0 in 4.
Sterling wins 12-0 over Meeker in 4 innings, so the 4 seed will advance more than likely against the 5th seed La Junta, taking on the number 12 seed Montezuma Cortez. Bull, I told the story. I didn't tell the whole story on air that my GPS, as you well know, threw me off. Foul straight back. Christie guided me here, and I made it here in enough time. I don't want to say plenty of time. But, yeah, the old-fashioned way. Yeah, I do. Let's see. Yeah, I can get you on here. We do have a, let's get Bull on the air here. I'm going to grab that one, buddy.
John Beltran back with Chris Bull Bromwell. In the top of the 5th inning, we had a walk to lead off the inning. 7-4, Brush leads Limon. Now 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll try to reestablish our internet connection here. Certainly some challenges today. Caitlin Taha is 0 for 2. Was a walk to Kylie Freeman, and Taha's the 9th place hitter. Both teams have now committed 3 errors in the game. And the pitch. And that is bunted up the third base side. They're not going to throw her out. The throw to first is going to be late. A closer play by the third baseman, Bruno. But it's a base hit for Taha on a very nice bunt. First and second with nobody out. And Limon picks up their 9th hit of the game. Both teams have 3 errors. But the 3 that Brush committed really hurt them. And now Limon is looking to really stretch out this lead up 7-4. With 2 on here for Rylan Owens, the leadoff hitter, a bunt, a single and a double, 2 for 3, and that one bounces in. Nice play there on the bounce by Brisa Aguirre Garcia. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0. And the pitch, squaring to bunt, right back towards the circle, fielded by Bruno. The throw to first, and that's going to be off the glove of Jillick. Bull, I think I'm going to score that a base hit. That was bang, bang, very close, but I think she would have beat it out.
I think she was there even without the drop at first.
Thank you for the confirmation.
So back-to-back bunt singles for Limon, and they've loaded the bases following the walk.
And that one by Rylan Owens. So the base is loaded with nobody out, and Trista Marks has reached on an air twice. She has struck out, and we're going to have a pitching change here. Mason Unrein, the only other pitcher available for Brush. After the first 2 already took the circle, that would be Braylon Rule and now Avery Lefevre. So we're going to have defensive changes. The Bee Diggers, after 2 innings, had every one of their players switch positions except the first baseman Jillick and the left fielder Harley Holdren. And now let's check out more changes for Brush. So Mason Unrein is in the circle. That means Keeley Langford, who was in the outfield to begin the game. I would think she goes to right field now. And then taking second base. We'll get this realigned as soon as these players are all set. But Brush is in a 7-4 hole in the 5th inning. And if they don't get out of this, Limon, a team that defeated Brush 3-1 during the regular season, is going to advance to that state quarterfinal matchup. Bull, I was talking about Lutheran here. Why don't you give me a little, some of the numbers I brought up, 25-0. They've won their last 9 games or 10 games by 9 runs or more. In fact, they've only been challenged in 3 games this year by Devlin, Golden, and Ralston Valley, all upper classification teams, and they've got a special pitcher.
Yeah, they have a very special pitcher. She's got an ERA of like .5 on the year. She's been dominant throughout the season, and the offense is pretty scary for Lutheran too. They're hitting almost 600 as a team, and they've got a freshman with, I believe, 15 home runs on the year.
Well, they have no seniors on the team. They're going to win at least a couple state titles. And that's taken for a strike. I check out, down and in. Excuse me. I thought I had the corner. 1 ball and no strikes. Trista Marks, the center fielder, the Class 1A Player of the Year in 2021 in basketball. As Limon won the state championship, is 0 for 3. Bases loaded. And the pitch is a strike. They'll tie. It's 1-1. At third is Kylie Freeman. Caitlin Taha at second. And Brendan Owens is at first base. 7-4 Limon with nobody out in the 5th inning. Sterling, a big winner already today on KPMX. That's 105.7 KPMX and KPMX.com. Swung on and fisted in the air, third base side, and that's going to be dropped by Unrein into foul territory.
I think Mason was concerned about a possible collision with her catcher, and so pulled up at the last second there and didn't make the grab.
I have to score that an error. That's a catch that's got to be made. It was a fairly routine play.
That's what, 4 errors now?
That's 4 errors for Brush, yeah. I mean, you got to make that play. That extends the at-bat. Oh, and the count is at 1-2, and the pitch up and away. I mean, it's not even that tough of an error. It's got to be scored there.
Well, that's in this situation, without a doubt, that's a catch that's got to be made.
And the pitch fouled right off the catcher. Trying to reestablish our original connection, but there have certainly been challenges today. But nonetheless, we bring you full live coverage here from Aurora Sports Park. The Bee Diggers trail 7-4. They trailed 3-0 early, tied the game at 3. It was 4-3 Limon, 7-3 Limon, now 7-4 the pitch. Swung on line, base hit into left field. That's going to score a run. Around third is Taha. Throw towards the plate. The slide, she's in there. Runner to third. That throw, and safe. And a hitter to second. It's a 2-run single for Krista Marks. And the Badgers have extended the lead, 9-4 in the top of the 5th inning. And 2 more in scoring position with nobody out.
And again, a costly error by the pitcher, Unrein, not making that catch in foul ground, allowing that 2-run single.
Ryan Urich, the shortstop, has struck out, reached in an air, and popped out. She is 0 for 3 in the game. We're going to try to reconnect one more time to our conventional method, see if we have any luck. We did have luck earlier. The pitch. That's a strike right down the middle. It's 0-1. Again, Urich at 0 for 3. The Badgers with that base hit of 11 in the game, out hitting Brush 11-5. With 1 strike on this hitter. And the offering. Upstairs, and the count levels at 1-1. The Bee Diggers are looking for their 16th win of the year, but they're going to have to do it in rally mode, and it could be a huge deficit by the time we get to the bottom of the 5th inning. Down 9-4. And the offering. Swung on. That ball is lifted. Foul. Oh, into the field of play. Oh, it was fair, and off the catcher on the backspin up the first base side. I never saw the ball, Bull, but that's going to be that scored a base hit.
Yeah, it hit right in front of home plate in fair territory, bounced up, and it caught the catcher in the mask. She was standing in fair ground when that ball hit her, so it's a fair ball. That is not every day you see a pop fly that goes all of 1.5 feet in front of the plate and results in a base hit.
Runner held up at third, and obviously the one at second. Bases loaded. The pitch is up and into Paige Hutzel. I was looking at the body language, but nobody pointed towards the ball in the infield to let her know where it was. She didn't rip off the mask and obviously didn't see it. And there, you've got to make a basket catch on a play like that if you're not completely under the softball. The pitch. That is up and in again. 2 balls and no strikes. It's a mess for Brush right now. That is scored a base hit.
That is, I mean, you've got a high sky today, no cloud coverage, very, very sunny. I'm not entirely sure Brisa saw that.
No, she didn't. I didn't see it. And I'm not that far from it. And you and I are not that far. The 2-0 pitch. That is inside. And Mason Unrein now down 3-0.
I will say from our vantage point, from our angle, that ball looked way further into foul territory than it actually was.
Yeah, that's what Brisa thought. 3-0 with the bases loaded, nobody out. And that pitch is right there in the inner half for a strike, belt high. And keep in mind that Paige Hutzel has doubled and walked twice. And she nearly homered in her first at bat. She's got home run power. She could make this a 9-run lead if she gets into one.
That is a stout left-handed hitter.
She is big and strong. 3-1 offering. Off to the left. That might have been ball 4, Bull. That was in on the fist.
She bailed Mason out there with that swing. But she was also looking to make this a 13-4 ball game with 1 swing of the bat.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out. Limon already has 2 across in the top of the 5th inning. A 9-4 lead in Aurora in this round of 16 game with a winner to take on Lutheran. The pitch, and it's a walk up and in. And scoring is Quinlan Owens give Hutzel the RBI. It's now 10-4. And more trouble brewing here for Brush. Jordan Taha has doubled, singled, and popped to center. She's given it a ride 3 times, 2 for 3 in the offering. Right there for a strike on the inner half. It's 0-1.
I'll be honest, John, I'm a little surprised that this game is as lopsided as it is. I mean, you've got an 8-9 matchup. It was a 3-1 game during the regular season.
Coming back, and that's down and in, 1-1, but Brush came out shaky in the first inning. Just too many miscues. Way too many miscues.
That was my key over yonder in the Sterling-Meeker match. Fielding plays a huge role at this point in the season.
Foul to the backstop. It's 1-2. And we know, and I've said this many times, I said it right before you came on air with me, that the strength of the Brush team is offense. So they can rally, but if you get down 8 or 9 runs,
that's a tall task
in a playoff
game. At a state tournament, that's a tall ask to try to come back from that deficit.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And Unrein strikes out Taha. 1 down. That's a big out. Bases remain loaded. 1 out for Jamie Jacklich, who was singled, grounded to the circle, and struck out. 1 for 3 in the game with Marks at third, Ryan Urich at second, Paige Hutzel at first.
Well, we've seen Brush come back from some big deficits this season, but
1-0. Well, the biggest one was against Strasburg, 7-3, but that was only a 4-run deficit. They were down by 5 against Sterling, made it a game, but lost 9-5. This is a big deficit right now, a 6-run deficit. That pitch is upstairs, and the count is at 2-0. It's 10-4 in the top of the 5th inning, 3 across for the Badgers.
And it's not like you're down 10-4 in the 3rd inning. You're down 10-4 in the 5th inning. You have 9 outs to work with.
And the offering right there for a strike on the inner half. Ball 2, strike 1 to Jacklich with 1 out. The Bee Diggers trying to avoid elimination, but they got to stop them right here. They got to hold them at 10-4. This is the number 6 hitter in the lineup. The pitch swung on and fouled off to the right and out of play up the first base side. Count moves to 2-2.
Here's the other thing to keep in mind. Even if you come back and win this game, you got to turn around and play another game. And you've already blown through all 3 of your pitchers on the roster.
Well, I mean, what are the chances of these teams, either one of these teams, beating Lutheran? It's almost
that's a tall ask for anybody at this point.
Swing and a miss. That pitch was well above the letters. Jacklich strikes out. Unrein doing a nice job. There's 2 down. Well, I can't believe she swung at that pitch on that rise ball. And here's Jazzy Rosler, who is 2 for 3, a couple of singles and a pop-out. The Bee Diggers might keep this at 10-4, which was the score with nobody out and the bases loaded. Now we have 2 down.
Yes. Mason can get out of this. Give her some credit, because that is a mess to sort through.
That is a strike right there. Bell tie, it's 0-1. Now, she's really the last opportunity for Brush in the circle. No balls and 1 strike. Pitch to Rosler. Swing and a miss. I'm not sure what she was doing there. That pitch started off high and went even higher. 0-2. That was like neck high. Well, if you're Mason, do not throw this in the strike zone.
Yeah, don't feed her anything in the heart of the plate.
Yeah, don't give her anything to hit. No balls and 2 strikes. Can she strike out the side? Swung on and lifted. The left field holder and is right there. And she dropped the ball. It's off her glove. That's going to score 2 runs. Hutzel around third, and the throw's not going to be made to the plate. It's a 3-base error. On the drop in left field, it's 13-4 Limon. And the Bee Diggers have committed yet another error in the game.
That is a backbreaker right there. You get a fairly well-hit ball to left field, but your left fielder is played perfectly in the position to make that catch, and it just pops in and out of the webbing, and 3 runs come in to score.
Rosler to second on a huge miscue in left field. That is a huge, right off the top of the glove, and she was right there. The ball was hit hard, but very makeable play. Here's Kylie Freeman. A strike. 6 runs across. She is the 10th hitter of the inning. She started off the rally with a walk against Lefevre. And Unrein comes home, and that's low. Well, the Bee Diggers have committed 5 errors in the game. And that's why I say, it doesn't matter. Even with Lyman's 3 errors, one might have a better shot than the other, but to beat Lutheran is swung on and fouled off to the left and out of play.
Well, you have to play essentially a perfect game against a team like Lutheran.
Well, you know what? Let me check that. Who's in left field? Let's make sure that's Holdren. And that's not somebody, because I'm looking at a glove out there. Bull, if you can help me out with
I'll try to catch a number for you.
And the pitch swung on and grounded up the middle. A dive by Lefevre. That's a base hit. And rounding third and scoring is Jazzy Rosser. The ball gets away. And it's now 14-4. Okay, so that was Holdren. That was Holdren in left field. Yeah, they have not switched positions. I just saw what looked like it was hair, but it might have been one of those holding it up.
And now, John, here's the point you're at with, if you're Brush, you have to score a run in the bottom of this inning or your day is done, because it's now a 10-run ball game.
Yep. And
Lyman's not done yet.
Freeman's been on base twice in this inning. And that is above the letters. 1 ball and no strikes to Taha. Taha grounded to the circle, grounded to third, and then had a bunt single. But I doubt they'll be bunting up 14-4. They'll be swinging away. And Unrein to the plate. Nope, not it. There you go. That's a delayed call. That's a real delayed call. Unrein had the ball in her glove, and it was called a strike on the throwback. 1 ball and 1 strike. And I believe we're reconnected. Swung on, lifted in the infield, and caught by the first baseman. Nope, not yet. Thought we were connected for a second outside of this connection, but the ball is caught. And that ends the nightmarish top of the 5th inning. 7 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors, and 1 left on base. We have played 4 1/2 innings. And it's a 14-4 lead for the Badgers. If the Bee Diggers do not score, as Bull Braun mentioned, their season is over. And Brush has scored in the odd number innings, 3 in the first and 1 in the third. But Lyman with 3 runs in the opening frame, 2 apiece in the second and third, and then 7 runs. And, the thing with these errors, we're talking about drop fly balls, and then there were other plays that could have been made. I mean, we saw the one there, the one that bounced off the catcher. And Lyman had that same situation early in the game, but they cleaned it up. And we know, Bull, that once you get to the playoffs, state tournament, the nerves can set in a little.
Oh, yeah, absolutely they can. And it snowballs. You make a mistake early, and the team scores a run or two, and then all of a sudden you feel like you have to do more to make up for the mistake you made earlier, and then you make more mistakes. Saw that in the Sterling Meeker game earlier today. Meeker made a couple of errors early in the ball game, and that just compounded things.
Here we go in the bottom of the 5th inning. The pitch swung on and lifted into foul territory. The catcher is going to make the play. Nice play by Jackledge. About a couple of steps behind the plate. And she flagged it home, and Tatalini's now 0 for 3. That's a rare 0 for her. And there's 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. And that's the difference right there. One catcher has an easier ball, though. An easier ball there for Jackledge than for Brisa, but and she ripped off the mask. Yeah, I mean, that helps, too. Here's Olivia Gillick, 0 for 2. A couple of fielder's choices on the left side. Brendan Owens comes home, and that pitch is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes.
Pretty unusual to see a softball pitcher not wearing a face mask.
And the offering, that is right there on the inner half for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Bee Diggers going into the top of the 5th inning were down to their last 9 outs. Now they're down to their last 2 outs. But if they score a run, we'll go to the 6th inning. 1 ball and 1 strike, the offering. And that bounces off the catcher. Ball 2, strike 1. Here to Olivia Gillick. Excellent season for Brush, though. It's just not one that's going to result in a victory here. Swung on, grounded to second. Routine throw to first. And Freeman retires Olivia Gillick, 2 down. And the Bee Diggers are down to their final out. Final out in this game. We will take you to regular programming right after this. Keeley Langford has brushed his last shot. Now, she's walked twice. Chris Bull-Brom will join me here for the postgame. We thought we'd go here till, we don't know if the 12:15 games, they probably won't start on time. It's 11:52 now. Pitch to Keeley, change up, and that is a gorgeous pitch. On pitch number 89 from Brynlyn Owens, no balls and 1 strike.
Not only is that a gorgeous pitch, but to start with that pitch, immediately as a hitter, you're hitting from your heels now because you don't know what to expect.
And that pitch is low, and the count levels at 1-1. Yeah, the only challenge from here on out is how to get home. I mean, I've been to Aurora before.
John.
Yeah, I know. What are you going to do with me? That pitch bounces in, 2-1. No, I'll figure it out. I got it now. I have time now.
Well, here's the thing. You got all the time in the world to get home. I've still got to stick around for another game.
That's true. Actually, you have 2 games. The pitch, not here. Swung on and fouled. I got Fort Morgan and Roosevelt tonight, B106, 1 versus 4, 2 undefeated teams. Kickoff at 7 o'clock.
Well, you'll have plenty of time to get back for that one.
Yeah, thank goodness. Well, I shouldn't say that. I wanted Brush to win this game. And now they need a miracle. They need a miracle just to go to the 6th inning. Because it's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Keeley Langford. The bases are empty and 2 down, trailing by 10 runs after Limon blew it open with 7 runs in the top of the 5th inning. Owens looks in. Langford awaits the pitch. Down and away. Oh, a called strike 3. They rung her up on the outside corner at the knees. And the Limon Badgers advance to the state quarterfinals, defeating the Brush Bee Diggers in 5 innings in Aurora, 14-4. The Bee Digger post-game show is brought to you by Stubbs Gas and Oil. Fill up your cooler, gas up your car. Stubbs Gas and Oil, easy and convenient, which makes them the only stop you need on your way to the big game. Stubbs Gas and Oil. The final line score for the Badgers, 14 runs on 13 hits for the number 9 seed, 3 errors, 7 left on base. The Bee Diggers with 4 runs, 5 hits, 5 errors, 6 left on base. And the winning pitcher was Brynlyn Owens. The loss went to the starter, Braylon Rule. Time of the game, 1 hour and 53 minutes. And Brush certainly hurt themselves in this game. All the unearned runs. In fact, let's look at the line right now. Brush allowed in this game 14 runs, Bull, only 5 were earned.
Wow.
Your number 1 pitcher, Rule, your number 3 pitcher, Unrein, did not allow an earned run. The 5 by Lefevre were all earned, but she had errors behind her, but those didn't come home to roost.
Wow.
So Limon took a 1-0 lead in the top of the 1st inning and an RBI single from Hutzel. Jordan Taha with an RBI double. Those were all with 2 down. And Jamie Jacklitz with a run-scoring single, but the Bee Diggers came back in the bottom of the 1st inning as they tallied 3 runs, getting a 2-run double from Harley Holdren. And they also got Tatalini to reach in a fielder's choice to make it 3-3. But then Limon took over from there, scoring 11 of the next 12 runs. Ryan Urich reached on an air to score a run to make it 4-3. And then Jordan Taha with an RBI single made it 5-3. Still in the 2nd inning, it was 6-3 as they plated another run on an RBI double from Brynlyn Owens. A wild pitch made it 7-3. The Bee Diggers would cut into the lead a little bit on a ground down from Amaya Bruno, but then that big 3-base error by Holdren, that basically capped off a 7-run inning, and 14-4, the final score. The Bee Diggers end the season at 15-11. A reminder that I'm with Chris Bull-Brom and Sterling is at La Junta more than likely, the 4 versus 5.
Actually, John, last time I checked, Montezuma Cortez had the lead. They are up 18-11 over La Junta.
All right, so that would be a 4-12 matchup.
It's the 3rd time all-time that Sterling has met Montezuma Cortez in the postseason.
That would be on KPMX.com, and that's going to be on the field we're at right now, it looks like, because there's some Tiger fans motoring over here to set up their chair game after the Bee Diggers went down to defeat by a score of 14-4. And, Christy, I'm going to wrap it up from here just to help back in studio to get us back to commercial and to our normal programming. As we are coming up towards the top of the hour, once again, we will have 10-10 preps and more from 1 to 2. Ben Blanco will get you started. We'll have a couple of NFL segments, and then we'll be joined by Fort Morganette football coach Ty Davies during the show. And then, of course, we have got Colorado Prep Scoreboard show coming up from 9:30 to 11. For Chris Poole-Brom, I'm John Beltran. Harley Holdren, the lone senior for the Brush Speed Diggers. She did have a 2-run double, so obviously a nice outing for her offensively. But as a team, the Bee Diggers struggled today. They lose the game and are done for the 2021 season. The final score in this round of 16 game of the opening round of the 3A state tournament. Limon 14, Brush 4 from Aurora on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.